I have removed this intake hose, spark plugs. I'm going to disconnect my exhaust manifold because that freaking starter is buried down there. Can't quite see it. It's down there. You can't get really to the bolts from under the car, especially the top bolt. Can't get to it, and there's no leverage there. So my solution, I think, is disconnect the exhaust manifold here, disconnect it back there, which I needed to reconnect anyway, so it'll work out. Hopefully that'll give me enough room so I can actually get to those bolts on that starter. I just can't believe how buried it is. It's like, yeah, anyhow. I bet that's the original starter too. So we'll see. So I have removed the filter intake portion just so I can get to this area better. These two bolts, I'm fighting with them, trying to get them off. Good news is I've taken off the exhaust manifold before when I did the head gaskets. So they shouldn't be on too tight, but these two are a little tricky because I can't get the sockets in there to grab them. I'm trying to use this wrench and it's trying to slip on me. And somehow I got these off already one time and put them back on. So I should will do it again, right? So, and then once I do that, I think I'll have good access to that starter. I hope. We'll see. I wasn't able to completely remove this when I did the head, so I probably won't be able to do that, but I just need to be able to wiggle it out of the way. When I did the head gaskets, I wasn't able to remove the exhaust manifold all the way, but I just want to kind of be able to move it around. So if I can take it off, move it around, I hopefully be able to do that starter. Well, this is a trick on YouTube that maybe I should have looked up before I started all this. Okay, so I got the bolts off the exhaust manifold there. Tough ones were the front ones because the exhaust the exhaust pipe was in the way of the bolts. How I was able to do it, I shoved, instead of using my normal wrench, I used a breaker bar. And I shoved the socket in there, got the breaker bar to where it barely was in there and got it started. Then I switched to my the 3/8 inch wrench, which actually I was able to use on the front bolt, so that actually worked. And again, the trick was first get the socket in place, and then I could put part of the wrench inside the socket, and I could get it going. So once I did that, it's pretty easy. I can't pull it out, but I can move it around a little and get it more of the way in clear space for my starter. So we'll see if I can get it off. Just want to show, it's like, even though it's freaking daylight, you can't actually see the starter. So I actually grabbed a flashlight. Look at this. Oh, there you go. That's not bad. That's the bolt for the starter. That's the starter. Back there's the connection to it for power. But that's the bolt you're trying to get to. And to get to it, see this? Look at that. Look at that mess to get to it. And of course, there's another bolt on the other lower side, which is fine. I'll deal with that. There's two bolts holding it in place. That one, and there's another one. And the other one's on the bottom, which I think I can get to, but this is my focus. Not a lot of range here to do a bar, but look at that. Oh, man, that thing's in there. I just want to show y'all the setup I used. I used this wrench, top of the socket wrench there, and yanked against, going this way with it, like that, and that broke the nut down there. So that's what I did, combined two wrenches to crack the nut. So there you go, try that maybe. Okay, here we have old starter versus new starter. I got the old starter out. I'm pretty darn sure it's original. A couple of tips, ideas I have. I went ahead and disconnected the electrical connection before I actually dropped this. So what I had done is, first I tackled the top bolt, which is this guy here. Had to, of course, move the exhaust manifold out of the way. Then I tackled the lower bolt, and the top bolt is 1/2 inch, and this is 9/16. But before I took this one off, I went ahead and unbolted the electrical connection because I didn't know if it would keep the starter from dropping, or if I needed, if I would be able to get enough leverage if I dropped it with it. So that actually I thought worked out well. Once I took this guy off, I wiggled it around from the top. It's kind of started dropping on its own, got on the bottom, and just pulled it out. There you go. So it is doable, and luckily these aren't on. They're very, very tight, so they're able to. They're pretty easy to take off actually.